Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Emily Freybler. So today's video, I am finally doing a full review on the new L'Oreal Infallible Stick Foundation. So this is the foundation. I'm doing a full review this time, not just a first impressions, because I just wanted to see how I liked this foundation with different primers, how it wore throughout the day, if I wore it like a bunch of different ways and all that jazz. So I'm going to be sharing my favorite way to wear this foundation and all my thoughts on it. And let's get started. So this foundation is a stick foundation. I feel like these are like all the rage right now. The Makeup Revolution one came out, and so did the Maybelline stick foundation. I have reviews on those on my channel as well, so go check those out down below. I will link them. And then now we have a L'Oreal Infallible foundation. I like every single L'Oreal Infallible foundation ever. My favorite is probably the Pro Matte, and I also really like the Pro Glow. The Total Cover is good, but it's not like my all-time favorite. I also love their True Match line, their regular one, and their Lumi foundation. So I really love L'Oreal foundation. So I was super excited to try this out and see what I thought of it, especially because stick foundations generally could be easier. I'm not saying they always are. Sometimes they're really hard to blend out. I've never really found a stick foundation that I'm absolutely in love with, so that's why I was super excited about this. So let's go on to pricing, how much you get, all that jazz. Okay, so this is technically called the L'Oreal Infallible Long Wear Shaping Stick Foundation. So the whole idea with stick foundations is that you technically could get a few different shades and like contour with it, as well as just do your normal foundation, while also, I'm sorry, my phone just went off, with also getting the same amount of coverage as you would from a foundation and not just using like something like a contour shade, you know? So this is $12.99 and you get 0.32 ounces of product. Let me compare to the Makeup Revolution. Ooh, you get more product than the Makeup Revolution one. The Makeup Revolution is 0.21 ounces and the L'Oreal, like I said, is 0.32. So definitely get more product. I also really like L'Oreal foundations because I feel like I can most of the time find my shade really easily. So I got the shade Warm Beige 406, and I feel like it works so well with my undertone as well as my shade. I like it because I can wear it when I'm a little bit more tan and a little bit more fair, and it still kind of works, you know, I can work with it. That's why I love the shade 104 in the other Infallible lines. I feel like it's the best, and this is 406, like I said. So this is the shade on my face. As you can tell, it's a little bit darker on the skin when it dries than it is in the tube. It just looks like a tiny bit, you know, lighter. So I've been wearing this foundation for, I want to say, well, not wearing it every single day, but I've been wearing it, I probably wore it 4 or 5 times now, just to see how it works with other primers and stuff like that. So I have a whole clip of me applying the foundation. You can see the coverage, everything like that. So let's get into all that jazz. The first time I wore this foundation, I did not wear a primer. I just wanted to see how it looked without a primer on. I didn't mattify it or anything. This says it is going to be a buildable coverage that's like full coverage, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And then it lasts up to 24 hours. It's a creamy glide-on formula that melts into skin and provides a weightless long-wear coverage that doesn't cake or drag. I do agree with that. It does not cake or drag, in my opinion. It doesn't say the finish of it. Yeah, it just says it's creamy. So I wasn't really expecting anything with the finish. I just want to see how it was. So I didn't use a mattifying primer in my T-zone. If you didn't know, I have combination skin, and it definitely got oily on me. Definitely got oily. So now I always use the One Heck of a Blot primer, and I feel like that really just kind of combats those oils. I do get somewhat oily throughout the day. I will do chickens throughout the day so that you guys can see, but I feel like I like this foundation. I do. I'll say that right off the bat. I put a pretty generous amount on my face to get the desired coverage that I want. If you're someone who likes kind of like a lightish or medium coverage, then you could probably put not that much on your face and it would work beautifully. This is basically a full coverage. It's very close, but I tend to find that it's not as buildable as they say it is, just because like this blemish right here, you can really definitely see poking through. A few of these over here. It's nothing bad, nothing that I'm insecure about or anything like that. But just so you know, you can't really build it up as much as they say it does. It does build up, and it does, you know, you can get from like a lighter medium coverage to a decent full coverage. I would totally agree with that. And I honestly want to say the finish of this foundation is stunning. It feels very lightweight. I don't feel like I have a ton of foundation on my face. I mean, I'm used to wearing makeup, so I don't know if that's one way or the other. You know, if you don't wear makeup a lot, you probably think it might be a little heavy, but I feel like it doesn't feel like a ton of stuff on my face. I love the finish because I swear it's in between the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte and then also the Pro Glow. It just kind of sits right in the middle, has like a nice natural skin finish with a little bit more dew to it before I set my face. And I just think it's beautiful. I also really like that I don't look super matte once I set my face or anything like that. I also will say that to prevent me getting nice and oily throughout the day, I will set my face decently heavily with the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. If you have very like normal skin or even a little dry, I think you'll be totally fine and obviously not have to do this. But if you have more like combination or oily skin, I would highly recommend setting it with more of a mattifying powder, at least in your T-zone or wherever you get oily. I find that this makes the makeup last a lot longer, and it also just looks really nice and keeps it like matte. So I always set mine with a sponge. I take it, I dip it in, and then I set my face with it, and I feel like it looks beautiful. I still have a little bit of like nice natural look to my skin. I don't look super duper matte either, which I really like. So that's a little tip for you guys. Set it with that, and then also use a mattifying primer if you do have more of an oily T-zone. So I do really love this foundation. I think it is beautiful. These are the products that I think work the best with it. Like I said, it doesn't have the best coverage. One thing I will do is set it with something like this, the Maybelline SUPERSTAY Better Skin Powder, which is the same shade as like my skin tone. And I'll set it with this so that it has a little bit more coverage to it. You can always set it with a powder that has a little more coverage just to get the desired look, or you could spot conceal, but I don't really mind it. I think it looks still very, very beautiful and looks pretty flawless. If you guys don't have acne, this is gonna look stunning on your face. You're gonna get a beautiful, beautiful coverage while still looking pretty natural, and I really love it. So I'm going to be wearing this foundation throughout the day, and I'll just show you kind of close-ups of how it looks when it gets oily, all that jazz on the screen. So I feel like most of the time I will have to blot around maybe 5 or 6 hours in. That's just kind of, you know, the main time I have to blot. I don't think that this foundation breaks up really, really weird over time. Even later in the night, as you will see, I don't think it breaks up very much at all. I will say I don't know if you get very much transfer actually. I feel like you don't get a lot of transfer either if you set your whole face. I usually do. And I think it looks beautiful. Like all the infallible foundations, I feel like L'Oreal does a spot-on job with these. They last a long time on the skin and also look great. I feel like this is a great one for their collection because it is kind of more of that like natural finish versus a super matte or a super glowy. It's like right in the middle, and I really do love this foundation. I feel like if I didn't have acne, I would like it even more because I could get like a really good coverage with it without having like my scarring peek through a little bit. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this foundation. Let me know if you guys like more of this full comprehensive review, or if you like more of a first impression and seeing what I think like right off the bat. So I hope you guys like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel down below. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in a video very, very soon. Bye!